gloves. Same?
Yeah.
Same cell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Travel and Journal with me. And I'm so happy to finally be doing a Japan episode because I have been to Japan numerous times in my entire life. This is probably the 9th or 10th time I was in Tokyo last Christmas and finally got to share some bits and pieces of my adventure in the capital city of Japan, as well as going to Kyoto, as well as Nagoya, Osaka, and Takayama, which you'll see in a future episode of Travel and Journal with me. I also got to visit the Traveler's Factory shop in Kyoto, which was previously uploaded on my YouTube channel, so make sure to check that out. I was really I think in such a way, like, I got culture shock a bit going back to Japan after having lived in Europe for like a year and a half. There's just so many things that I'm not familiar with Asia anymore. The only time I go home to Asia is going back to the Philippines, and usually when I'm in the Philippines I don't go out and about. I'm just literally home and seeing friends. So this was a nice change, I would say, but I also have a bit of observations which helped me really realize how I've changed and how a city stays the way it is. Not saying that it hasn't changed, but there's just this idea of every time I travel to a city that I've been to before, I realize certain versions of myself exist. And obviously, I personally like the version that I currently am in now. It's similar when I went to New York last summer, and I really felt so different compared to when I first went to New York and stayed in New York for like 4 months when I was 25. 25 versus 30, like 5 years can be a lot. And with Japan, I haven't been to Japan since 2019, so that was also a stretch in terms of how everything changed after the pandemic as well. But some things never change, such as my love for coffee. And during some parts of my trip, I managed to have some cafe time and hop around different cafes and try their coffee. I also actually took home a bag of Blue Bottle coffee beans, which I am curious to try. I have not come around to prepare it for my morning coffee, but I will soon. And it's a good excuse for me to use my PET tape, which is what you're seeing here. This is the Coffee and Journals PET tape that is available at my stockists worldwide that I designed. One of the things also that I really missed about Japan in general is just the energy. I mean, in some way it was a bit like draining. I've haven't seen so many people in so long. But also it was nice to actually explore more offbeat areas. I wanted to thank Sai or Love Soup because we got to explore different neighborhoods, and we spent a whole day just talking about work and life, which is always so fun. And also, I got to spend some time with friends that I haven't seen in a really long time, and also friends that I've met from the San Francisco Pen Show. So shout out to CY and Khue, because we all went to the Eric Small Things exhibition, and it was really nice. And that area in Kuramai, it was really nice as well. And apart from that, I also got to experience traveling to Asia via Europe, which was an entirely different experience. Imagine when I used to fly from Manila to Tokyo, it only took like 4 or 5 hours, and now it took me like 14 hours. So that was a trip in itself. And also, I got to really experiment on how I would travel Japan alone. Having been there for so many years and traveling to Japan for so many years, I've always just relied on other people to kind of organize the trip in general. So this was an eye-opening experience, to be honest, because I navigated things a lot on my own. Also, some friends who have been to Japan, like VA, and also, of course, Kay, who lives in Japan, have helped me sort of navigate through things. I would ask them questions. And in the end, it was a really eye-opening experience. I can't wait to share more about my trip in future videos as well as on Patreon. But I really had a nice time. I think ultimately what I realized was that I really can travel alone, because that's something that I've always been programmed to do since I was 21. I realize now that it's been 10 years since I started traveling solo, and most of the time the rewards are always it's very rewarding experience, because I get to manage my own time and also figure out what I really want and don't want to do. And always revisiting cities is such a treat, because I'm allowing myself to visit new places, discover new neighborhoods that I otherwise would not have discovered on my own. Big shout out to Saori as well of Traveler's Factory, because she gave me a couple of tips also on where to go in Tokyo, so I got to explore a lot on my last day before I took the night bus to Kyoto. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And also, if you wanted to check out the journal pages, I'm going to share with you some flip throughs of the first half of this journal, and the rest will be on Patreon this coming February, so make sure to check that out. So here is a more comprehensive flip through of my journal pages so far. I will share the journal tour of this particular journal in February for journal members and obviously male members as well. And as you can see, there are a lot of fold out pages that I did and fold out cards, just so I could save a bit of space and really show you different ways that you can document and also make the journaling experience more unique to you. I did notice that my Japan trip in general had more illustrated pages, because I didn't want to have a separate journal for that, and so instead of doing that, I just incorporated it feels more like a mixed media attempt, which is what you're seeing here. So I do hope you enjoyed this video and got some insights for travel journaling this year. And if you're going to travel this year, let me know where you're headed. I'm looking forward to see and know where you're headed and where your adventures will be.